What up, Nitro Nation? Well, if you haven't figured it out by now, you know what time it is. It's time. This is where the rubber meets the road, where your money, put your money where your whip is. Alright. Yeah, well, Muggy is probably one of the most criticized people in general, but especially for tuning. And it's funny because the people that talk shit about, you know, oh, the Muggy doesn't know how to tune, and the Muggy this, and the Muggy that. Hey, seeing is believing, proof's in the pudding. Then you saw guys make up excuses, you know, and am I saying that I've never made up excuses? And, you know, because bottom line is nobody likes to look bad on camera, especially on YouTube. I mean, there is editing, but for me, I just go live and raw because I don't know how to edit shit. But most of you guys out there have no excuses. You might want to maybe get all your shit dialed in and then start shooting. I know that's what Mr. Zod used to do, because anybody that thinks, and I said this in the past, that Mr. Zod just fired up his shit, and people say, oh, he never touched the needles. Of course he doesn't. I guarantee you, he spent at least 15, 20 minutes or however long to dial in his vehicle. That way, when he bumped it and it started right away, he wasn't touching needles, obviously, because his shit was already dialed in before he started rolling. I mean, he's no dummy. I mean, you know, but there's not a lot of, you know, I wouldn't say not a lot of people. There's very few people like me that actually, they just fire. This thing has a box tune, okay, pretty much from last time. So I'm going to fire it up. We got the old school. These are some of the first DE racing rims and Badland 1178s that I have. These have got gallons on them, and look, these are the white ones. And there's still a lot of frickin' tread on these paws. So anyway, and we're gonna be running the first body. That means we're gonna launch it off this little hill. I'm not gonna get very high, but we're gonna see if we can just send this thing 20, 30 feet out. That's my challenge. You know, we've seen all the up in the air, high, and whatever. I want to see somebody pull full throttle, just screaming their shit across something and hit a ramp and just freaking send that shit. Send that shit 40, 50, 60 feet, whatever. Send it, man. I'm going to try to do that here. If we tear this body up, oh well, because, you know, we have the God of War body, the other body that I did, and that one actually has its first trophies on it. Oops, I forgot my radio's on. Don't want to. That's what I like about these Fly Skies, by the way. We have here the Fly Sky FS IT4S. I love this radio. The only thing compared, I mean, this actually has as same or more features than the Noble. The only problem is this one is more plasticky. The Noble, as I told you guys before, the Noble just has more aluminum on it, man. More aluminum. It's a lot more sturdier. But this is a good radio. If you don't have a receiver, if you got a Techno, I highly recommend this radio. It's probably one of the better radios for the price, like 130 bucks. It's probably cheaper now. It's probably around 120, but whatever it is, it's well worth it. You know, I was gonna get a Spectrum, you know, one of the higher end Spectrums, and a lot of people, mostly in 5th scale. So I don't know about 8th scale nitro because I've owned Spectrums, but not the newer ones. I just hear a lot of bad things. I don't hear anything positive about Spectrums. Like I said, most of it is in 5th scale, a few in 8th scale, so I don't know. You guys tell me, you know, if you guys have Spectrums and they're good radios and you never had an issue with them. You know, like I said, when it comes to technical stuff like that, the reason I got the IT4S and the reason I got the Noble is because Elite RC had already had them, so, you know, and it's no secret, you guys know that, you know, he's one of my Nitro brothers. You know, by the way, shout out Elite. We are going to rip the RCR modded 28.8 Rex Legend, okay? It is time for part 2 of the .28 shootout. Now, I said it was just the 28.8s, but what I have decided is we are going to run the Pico P3 RCR against these 28.8 Rex Legends. Lance told me, he said, bro, trust me, that 28.8 P3 that I just did for you, like I said, he did a lot of, you know, hooked me up with a lot of goodies as far as he just went all out on that motor, because that engine, because he knows that I'm going to run it against RB mods. He said that this engine is going to be a monster, and that's probably after I'm done with... I'm going to run this one here in the Techno. We're going to run the RB mods, so that'll be all three. I'm already can tell you right now, the RCR is the nastiest of the 28.8 mods that I have. Nastier than TNS, nastier than RB mods. It is the most violent engine that I own. So we're going to have to run that Pico P3 that Lance just did, and we'll see. So anyway, enough of my yapping. Proof is in the pudding, right? Seeing is believing, you know. Don't just talk about it, be about it. So anyway, let's fire this thing up, see if we can get a tune on it. Then we'll throw the body on. By the way, we are running the 9886 Super Strong. I'm running the same clutch and setup and everything. This has got a 15 tooth pinion reds, and it's got the I believe I'm running the 4-shoe. The old 4-shoe low-speed clutches are great. You just got to keep up on and watch the pins that hold the shoes in. They suck. They strip out all the time. I'm going to get her warmed up first before I start messing with the tune. It sounds like it's idling a little high. There, it drops, but it's not warmed up yet, so. Remember, a lot of this is, I agree, sound, sight, and feel. But if you don't, I don't like to mess with my needles until I'm around 200. That's just what I learned. You do whatever you want. To each his own. For me, it's mostly, I don't want to waste a bunch of fuel warming it. I'd rather warm it up, like I always do, 180 to 200, okay? And then, you know, once it's nice and warm, around 200, then start jacking with the needles, because otherwise, a lot of times you're wasting your time, and the tune's gonna change. Okay, so she just sounds nasty. Seems to be idling was idling a little. I just think she's not warmed up yet, so let's get her warmed up, people. Like I said, this engine is just from bottom to mid to top, just has full power band, man. Little flip. I couldn't see which way it was coming to hit the brakes or to give it fuel, but no worries. I don't care about this body, like I said. There we go. I think if I can land out here in the dirt, I'd say that's about a good 50 feet almost. She just sounds so nasty. Like I said, I love this one that Lance did. You know, I don't even have to run the other two. I've ran them before. And you know, I will give credit due where credit due. One thing that, you know, we don't agree on a lot of stuff, the me and the potato head, but what he said and what he's been saying about technos, the truggies and buggies, it's 100% true. You know, we're talking on experience because we own them. Oh! 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 Uh-oh. That wasn't a good jump. And she obviously isn't dialed in. Let's get her dialed in because she should have stayed running. Let's get her dialed in, do the chronic test, and yeah, but like I was saying, these Technos just fly, and they're so balanced because of where the engine sets. It's unbelievable, but oh, there's ants here. Damn it. Frickin' ants. All right, people. Okay, before we start jumping around, let's get it warmed up and tuned. Like I said, unless you don't have a clunk, which these do, and knock on wood, this is only the second tank that I've had in this thing. This one's brand new, but I never had any issues with the older one. I can just feel the grass is wet over here. So, one thing I will tell you, now you'll hear it all the time, especially these modded 28.8 Rex Legends, these things that suck fuel. Yeah, see, we're only at 168, so we're not even really warmed up, but let's get her more warmed up and then we'll do the chronic test. But this thing just is violent. She just wants to pull the front end up at like the mid-range power. When it band kicks in, this thing to the front end just... So I can do a two-stage. You know, all the difference between a two-stage and a single stage is just a little bit, a little turn of your idle. Some of you know that, some of you don't. That's all it is. When you get a two-stage, usually it's just your idle's a little high, which is, I run my idle a little high. We'll do the chronic test. Sounds fine to me. Uh-oh, little lean. Means the fuel's getting low. Island really high. Check the needles. The return rubber band came loose. I was like, wait a minute, this thing sounded money, and it's not the clunk, and it wasn't, you know, the fuel wasn't running low. I mean, it was getting low, but that's what it is the frickin' So now you guys know. Okay, I'll be right back in a second. Alright people, I'm back. Remember, always bring spare parts. See that? All the things that I've ever had issues with, I keep in here. Okay, let's... She sounds okay. Let's flip her upside down and see if she stays idle. Not even a change. Like if you flip it over and it either goes up or down. If it goes up, which idles high, it's still a little too lean. If it just quits, it's obviously too rich. So she's fine. This engine is just the RCR modded 28 Rex Legend. We're still going to run the RB so you guys can see it again. Not that you guys have never seen it, but TNS just, it's got more mid and top. This thing is just from bottom to mid to top, everything. She's just nasty. And this grass is really thick. So if I was to run this thing on the concrete, it would be like flying. Forgot there's water right here. See if we can send her again. Ooh, front end came up. Oh, dang it. I don't want to go through that frickin' water. Little baby jump. Can't really launch it anymore because these guys are in the way over here. That over there, that little end is a little bit higher. There's not much elevation over here. Let's check the fuel. Sounds like it's getting low already. Let's top her off. A little low. Let's do a speed run on this thing, man. I mean, these are old Badlands. I've got 6 pairs now. 3 of them I haven't even mounted. So normally, do as I say, not as I do. I don't run on blacktop. Blacktop's okay. It's not as rough on them, but let's open her up a little bit. Oh yeah, she hums. Okay, that's enough concrete. Even though these Badlands are old, I want to get some more life out of them, so. Yeah, so as I said, the RCR just across the board is just a nastier, more violent engine. Talk about pizza cutters. She's just nasty. See those pizza cutters? See if she's how our tune is. Sounds okay to me. That clunk though, when it gets jammed around, that's why you hear that, man. I didn't probably realize that a lot with the clunk, obviously, because I didn't jump mine as much as I'm doing now. So I didn't notice too much that the clunk does. When it gets stuck on top, it does that lean sound. Woo! So you guys seen it here. The RCR modded 28 Rex Legend is just violently nasty.
How much miles per hour can you go?
I don't know. I never clocked it.
Excuse me? Can I try it?
Nope.
Put on the wheel.
Because you're not old enough. You have to be 18 years old to drive these. Alright people, sorry about that. I had to chase off some children. some minors beating me up with questions. I was like, why do you ask so many questions? Because that's our job, sir. But anyway, yeah, so on the earlier, as you guys see me running this thing, she seemed to kind of lean at times, and a lot of it is that the on these Technos, clunk, man, it wants to go. Sometimes if it gets stuck up there, you're going to get that little bit of that lean sound. Or when you come in, it wants to run on. So I'm going to look into changing this to see if I can fit a different tank that doesn't have a clunk on it. So. But other than that, I think she's pretty dialed. She just sounds nasty. I'm running the 2 Max Life and 2 King Heads, the gold ones. I recommend them highly. Do a little mic product test. Sounds okay. Drop her a little bit. See if the idle's okay. Fine to me. Yes, I can do a single stage. I can do a 2-stage, single stage. Just some of my engines run better with the 2-stage. Some of them prefer the single stage. And like I said, all it is a little bit of an adjustment of your idle screw. Okay, before she eats all this fuel, let's launch her some more. Now that the kids playing football are gone. See if we can get her in the air. Let's send this bitch. These things are just so well balanced. I want to try to clear this dirt patch. I don't know if I can. Yeah, this RCR modded 28 Rex Legend is just nasty. Oh, on the lid. Oops. She got bounced a little bit. See if the clunker got stuck. No, it sounds okay to me. Oh, at least she landed right side up. Yeah, we're beating up we're beating up this engine and we're beating up the Techno right now. Yeah, that clunker, you can hear it sometimes when it gets stuck up like that. Other than that, I'm going to try to look into putting a different tank. I need a tank with more fuel. These are what, 150 cc's I believe on Truggies? I need like 250 cc's. Getting dark. It's like Sun is setting, and it is time for me to party like a rock star. Oh yeah, need one of these. Because after I get done here, we're going to clean her up, put her away. You know the old saying, ride her hard, but I don't put her away wet. Well, there you go. There's the RCR modded 28.8 Rex Legend. You make your own. I can already tell you, it just, the overall power band from bottom to top of this thing is better than all the 28.8s that I have, so. Got loaded up a little bit. Loaded up a little. Yeah, she is definitely nasty, nasty, nasty! McNasty. Oh, 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 oh! She gonna stay running? She hasn't quit yet. Oh, so it's not the walk of shame. Ooh, sounds like a clunker. There we go. Sometimes when that clunker, when it comes, it just comes up a little bit on, there's like a little slot inside the tank. So I don't know, maybe there's a way to keep it from coming up like that. But it's just, it's almost impossible to do anything in these tanks. Even when that clunker, I've had it come loose one time, it's a bitch to get it connected. So. See how much fuel we got left. Let's do one more speed run. About a little bit more than a quarter tank. She gets moving, I'll tell you that. Remember, she's pulling a 14 right, I mean a 15 too. So, I know I've ran this thing with a 14, it would be pulling the front end up a lot more. I mean, it still was pulling up the front end a little bit, but... This kind of sound a little bit lean on the bottom. Let's... a little better. I wasn't even full throttle right there. I was about 3/4. I had a little bit more, but I ran out of room. Like I said, she's got a 15 pinion on her, so she boogies though. There's your high note, people. Uh-oh. Up the curb. Okay, let's get her off the blacktop. It's getting dark. I still got to clean this thing, so... Mick Nasty. Alright people, I will see you on the next video. Actually, the next video will be a huge marathon where I opened up, like I told you, all the RCR, well most of the RCR modded engines I just got. So you'll get to see the internals. I'll share some stuff, explain some stuff, give a couple pointers and tips to help out, you know, somebody that, you know, is thinking about getting modded engines and what, obviously the benefits. If you have a 28.8 Rex Legend stock and it's not modded, and you can mod it as long as you don't have, you know, a couple gallons on it. If you got around a gallon or a gallon and a half, you should be okay, but that's max. I wouldn't go any more than that. Send it in, Lance will mod it. The thing will be so much nastier. It's not even funny. Remember, I have 4 of these engines, and I've ran them all stock, most of them. I think maybe one I didn't run stock. Well, the TNS I couldn't run stock, so. But the other 3 I ran stock, and they're modded, and I can tell you, man, there is nothing, I repeat, nothing smells, feels, or sounds like a 28.8 Rex Legend modified by the right guy. So that's all I got, people. Catch you on the next one. Peace.